Another way of channeling, I guess I need to stop specifying this stuff, because when I specify it, that's when I can feel that old place of feeling like there's a right or wrong way of what I'm saying, and that I have to make sure that what I'm executing out of my mouth is something that's going to relate to somebody specifically in a very certain specific way. But really, I'm just speaking. I just need to speak the way that I need to speak. Creativity for me, life to be lived for me, is done in my creativity of art, not just art, painting, and art physically, but also spiritually, phenomenally, right? Like in all these, morally, in all these ways. There's art all around in everything we do and what we think and how we feel and what it is that we want to take our next step in. I can look at this pond that's in front of me right now, and I can create it to feel like my emotions that are speaking right now are glimmering because they're truthful and they're real. And I see the sparkles and the glimmer in that water, and it makes me feel like I'm creating that, or it's creating me. We're creating each other. We're communicating something. But it's a replication of how I'm feeling. Not because it was already there doing that, or because of what I'm saying is having an impact on it, but because it just is. Which is what art is. It's whatever you make it. It is what it is. It is us living this life. It is the painting and the poetry and the position of it's your pole position. Cool. And if you want to know what that is, you can look it up. It all has to do with racing. But I'm not racing anything. I'm not racing myself. I'm not racing my mind. I'm not racing some comprehension of anything other than just what it is that I'm not racing, but racing creates a big circle, and that circle has to then go somewhere. It creates its own wind charge, a harmony. You're not racing it, you're just living it. You're not going to get anywhere first, you're just experiencing it. You define things that mean something to you. We should do that. That's art. It's like when I'm looking up at the pine trees, little branches that stick out and they look like middle fingers to me. And I learned that a middle finger is like the same as saying fuck you. And a fuck you basically just means like it's a sword. It's something that shoots the arrow into something else. It's making a connection. It's going for what it is you want. It's taking your own path. Art is like an elephant path. It's like this own way mirroring your life. Because it's what we do. We're here at Earth School living this life, projecting it back out like a mirror of God. We create frequencies and vibrations that have a relationship to everything around us, The blue sky above me. I always said, blue skies never lie. And not because clouds lie, because clouds also are a frequency and carry a harmony within them. But they're not happening to me. I'm happening. And I can make a creative way of understanding how we connect together. I'm harmonizing. So when I say blue skies don't lie, I've harmonized with the earth and the air and the wind and the rain and all the things around me. That's a way I want to live. And not by taking from myself, giving myself away, but by being exactly who I am, following whatever path it is that I feel I need to take in all my weird ways. Letting go, being free. When I would hear different spiritual people talking about dragons in whatever ways they would, like any kind of channeling or things like that, I didn't know about it in any of the esoteric ways or any of these mythology ways. I started to look at dragons as being the parts of the sky that gathered up into these perfect little dragon looking kind of things. Like, I would look at certain clouds and go, that's a real cloud, and then like that one just looks like a weird little fogged energy bubble of some sort over there. Like you would feel like there was something in that cloud because there's energy in that cloud. Who, what, why, where, when, I don't know. That's not what I'm trying to say. I guess what I'm trying to say is that whenever I would see them start to gather up like little like these little bunches, like the clouds would spread out, and then all of a sudden it's like something would just form them back into like a pile of what looked like a dragon to me, and they became my dragons at that time, in the way that I was experiencing the world, which was still through some polar ways of feeling like it was, you know, like I had to like worry about something in the world happening to me. And eventually I began to see that like I'm happening to the world around me. And the peace that I wanted to experience will happen through me in my own peace. I see the wind blowing up these perfect cyclones of snow right after I say that, and to me that feels like harmony. Peaceful harmony. It's just a little bit of snow. Art is a gentle way of being able to understand the world that you're living in. It's a gentle way of being able to let out what it is you're not understanding or you're not getting, or the things that maybe just are our art is like mirroring, which is why art has always remained to be so important. I mean, you could break that into like the idea of every piece of history I feel like we learned about growing up always had to have some art piece around it to be able to not just show you what it is that they were explaining. It was actually telling you what happened because the art still existed. But it was still a mirror of what it is that somebody was experiencing within that time in that world. And if you go way back, you've got storytelling, you've got people writing, and then you have the art. But first you had the art. I think you had the art, then you had the storytelling, then you had the writing, if you really want to put it out, explaining to us what has happened in the past. but it was still something that happened according to one person's perspective on how that thing was happening, and then how they wanted to be able to correlate that into some physical existence to share with another. And depending on how you want to take that, you can, again, taking everything in all of its terms, physically, spiritually, phenomenally, like heart, mind, matter. How pretty that is. How pretty that is. There's a point today, nobody thought that would happen today, but look, there it is. Take it all in, enjoy it, live this life. Find its bounty, its beauty, find the abundance. Forgive. Forgive it all. Every time you thought that something was happening to you. Even if you decided it was happening for you, forgive it. Those little tiny cyclones that I see in the snow, that's harmony. I'm harmonizing a frequency to be able to just let it be a little tiny whirl in the snow. It's not a tornado. It's not a big wind gush coming in at you. It's a little tiny little thing that a little light had to draw on so that it could just find its perfect little landing spot. Because I let it out. I didn't hold it in. So that I could become that big cyclone around me, or that tornado. It's what happens when we don't forgive. It's what happens when we don't really try to find ourselves and face ourselves. When we give away ourselves, we create these big cyclones of things that we have to then deal with. And we'll do it in all the ways, spiritually, physically, phenomenally. Phenomenal ideas will be based upon something that was just a piece of us that we didn't put together. Spiritually, we will create depths for ourselves that we have to climb out of. And physically, we'll create those little cyclones and tornadoes. So maybe it's not blue skies never lie. Oh, look at that, a rainbow above me. Let them see rainbows. Wow. Because I'm speaking my truth. It's not blue skies don't lie, it's blue skies harmonize. That's what I was about to say, and then bam! I don't know if you can see it. Life is fun.